glad to be here. It's an honor to be here at the Peach Bowl, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, and looking forward. He's had a really good practice today. I was very proud of the way our kids come out and work. We always wonder how they come off a layoff 3 or 4 days. I was very pleased coming into the game, and I've been very pleased after the first day today. They had a great attitude. We got work done. We had normal Monday practice. We extended about 8 or 10 minutes on a couple other things we worked on, but kids went out and were very sharp, looking in good condition, and the guys who had done some things while they were home. So very pleased with that. Looking forward. We're going to have a great practice, great preparation, and looking forward to playing a great Houston team. So, questions y'all got?
I think you mentioned it. Somewhere in the middle of the season, the team really kind of figured out how they wanted to practice and do it the way that really worked for them. At what point was that they kind of?
I think they always worked hard, but I think working efficiently and understanding big picture of things and how practice habits really carry over. And sometimes when you're young, it takes you a while to grasp that. But I think in the middle of the season, once in the second half of that season, again, I think we've grown a lot.
Is that first practice after Christmas usually a good indicator of a team's mindset in any given year?
It kind of is usually. I don't say that. Hopefully it'll continue for the next couple of days. I don't want to put that in the way they can relax, but just the attitude you come back with. You hear just to have a good time. You hear to practice. You hear to play. You always say they're ready to play, but I mean from the get-go. When the game comes, guys start getting into it. But today we were sharp. For our first practice coming back after a 3-day layoff like that, even the skill level, throwing and catching the ball, playing the ball on defense. You know what I mean? A lot of the skill level things to take a day or two, blocking, picking up blitzes, doing things like that. Our mental approach to practice was really good. Kick the ball very well. Usually kicking and throwing, sometimes you don't get to do as much when you're off 3 or 4 days. But on all those aspects, they've been worked on it. They worked on it when they went home.
Jimbo, did you see what Dalvin did when he went home to Miami?
Yes. I think it's just another indication of how he is and the kind of young man he is. The impact he can have. And I think that was awesome. I really do. And again, putting a smile on somebody's face. And I think he's realizing too, because Dalvin's such a shy guy in a way. You know what I'm saying? I think he's realizing the impact he can have on a lot of youth and a lot of young people in this country. You know what I mean? And somebody in that case in the hospital and who he really is. Sometimes I know this sounds crazy to people, but those guys really don't realize who they are and how many people really look up to them or know who they are. Or they kind of get embarrassed by it because why would they want to see me? You know what I'm saying? I'm a college football player, but I think he's starting to grasp that and embrace that, and I thought it was a great gesture. And to me, it's indicative of who he is as a person.
Do you talk to the guys about how to balance the fun and educational stuff, or is that something kind of the leaders of the team?
No, we do. We spend a lot of time with that. In our community service things we do, but also the impact they have to have and the role they have to have of who they are. And, they're as well known as anybody in the country. College football is maybe the most watched sport in pro football, most watched things in this country. And we're a very highly watched team. We're on TV every week, and people know who we are. We're significant, and people know who our players are. And I try to tell them the impact they can have. And again, like I think, some of them it takes time. Not from they don't want to do it. They just don't realize how big not from a celebrity is not the word I'm saying, but how well known they are and how young kids and people look up to them. So.
What's the fine line? It's not for championship, but there's a lot on the line. There's a ton on the line for both schools. But we're having fun and being rewarded for this week and making it making a business trip also.
I think compartmentalize it, and I think we talk about that a lot. I think you have to learn to do that the higher levels of ball you go, because we told them today, we're going to have fun. We're here to have fun, and you guys enjoy this thing. This is what part of being a ball. That's what bowl games originally were. They were in the old days. It was a reward for what you had during the season. Remember, they used to name national champions after the season. Bowl games didn't even count. And so it was like that. But there also is there's an educational part. Going to the College Football Hall of Fame, going to the Martin Luther King Museum, and all those kind of things. There's parts of these things you'll get exposed to parts of this city that you've never been exposed to and learn history. But then there's a time for business. And you have to learn to compartmentalize. When it's time to work, we work. When it's time to play, we play. And when it's time to learn, we'll learn. And always carry yourself with a lot of dignity and pride. And we talked about that in the first meeting. And I think the quicker college kids, even pro people and people in general, can learn to compartmentalize. And what I mean is things are going wrong. Things are happening in life. And you got a job to do. You can only control what you can control. So what you're responsible for at that time, learning to do that. And I think our kids are doing a good job of that.
Now that you're in the middle of game planning, is there anything about Houston that's really kind of stuck out to you or the players from what they've seen?
Yeah, they're real good. And I say that jokingly, but when you watch, we talk about the offense and dynamics of the quarterback and the receiver in the back. Everybody talks about all the points they score, which they do, but go look at them on defense. They're great against the run. They're great in scoring defense. They make plays. They create turnovers. They got tons of turnovers. They've created interceptions, fumble recoveries. I mean, this team is very good on special teams because they have skilled athletes that can run and return. I mean, this is a one heck of a football team. They play hard. They're disciplined. They're tough. I mean, it is, and I say that, I was making a little joke, but I'm not making a joke. I mean, this is a very well-rounded team in all three phases, and they're good. You don't win 12 games like that by accident.
Sean and some of the other offensive players said that Houston does some things defensively that you don't see a lot in different downs and situations.
Yeah,
Can you explain that?
Different blitz packages in which they do in different times and constantly bringing pressure at you. They attack you, you know what I'm saying? So they make you have to be aware where certain people are all the time and be able to not run uphill or get caught in bad situations. And, you know, you got to be able to sight hot, get balls out, pick up blitzes. And, I mean, they're going to attack you, down distance with some different, I mean, things that are very, very tough. And I'm sure they'll have something new also thrown in there. So, I mean, you have to be really aware. It's mentally, some teams are good, and they line up in what they line up in, and they play it, and they're real good in their technique. It's just different philosophies, you know what I'm saying? This team's like that, but then they create some looks that are very demanding and tough with you.
I heard one of their people talking about creating turnovers. They've obviously created a lot of turnovers. Is that something that stripping the ball, or what are things that they've done?
Well, I think the pressure packages from different blitz looks they do, making quarterbacks have to hurry, get hit when they're throwing the ball. I think they play the ball very well. They can, and when you're playing from a lead, they've been ahead a lot because they're dynamic on offense. And I think like we were 2 or 3 years ago, that when you play from a lead, your packages, you blitz, not take chances, but people are playing from behind all the time, so you can, and you're skilled, and they make plays on the ball, play it very well, and then they do tackle and strip. They tackle and gang. They get to the football. They run there. So the first guy's making a tackle, and the other guys are stripping. They do all those things.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome. I'll give you a bill later.
Okay.
What Tom Harmon's done in his first year there, I know you've worried about your team during the season, but have you seen or taken notice of when
Yeah, anytime a guy comes in and has a turnaround of that magnitude, Houston's used to win. They've won in the past. But for him to come in and take that team and flip it around so quick and all three phases be so good and be so far along in their packages, I mean, the organization, the structure, how hard they play. I mean, Tom's done a tremendous job. You could see it. I mean, there's no doubt.
Have you ever